Hey, Facebook, social media, Steve Sanderson, Veterans in Politics. I'm over here at the Regional Justice Center, and today we went and court observed two judges. The first judge was Las Vegas Justice of the Peace, Joe Bonaventure. Now, don't get confused, because there's two Joe Bonaventure. There's Joe Bonaventure Sr. that was now a senior judge, but he was a district court judge. And one of his famous cases is the Binion case. So that was a very interesting case. But we're not going to talk about him, so I don't want to go in much detail. The second one is Joe Bonaventure Jr. Now, Joe Bonaventure Jr., he made history from when he first came in. He had about 2 years of practice in law and became a justice of the peace. He won off of his dad's name, and that's no secret. Joe Bonaventure Jr. changed the way the criteria for justice of the peace. Because of Joe Bonaventure Jr., candidates that are attorneys now have to have a minimum of 5 years of practice in law before they could run for justice of the peace. When Joe Bonaventure entered the Las Vegas Justice of the Peace, he was 2 years of practice in law. And because of him, the legislatures changed it to 5 years. Now, Joe Bonaventure Jr., the Justice of the Peace, he was on the DUI treatment court. He was on criminal, civil, small claims court. What made him famous, I think, or name recognition, is because he had some very high-profile cases. He had the preliminary hearings for the O.J. Simpson trial, and he also the robbery, and he also had the Paris Hilton's cocaine possession. Now, we court observed Joe Bonaventure Jr. today, and as far as what I saw, he did a great job on the bench. Now, there has been certain rumors or gossip or factual base going around saying that Joe Bonaventure Jr. hardly shows up for work. Now, these justices of the peace make a good six-figure salary, and we have hardly shown up for work. As far as a few folks in the RJCs reported that Joe Bonaventure Jr. don't show up for work or hardly ever shows up for work. We want to put it out there, Joe Bonaventure Jr., please show up for work, do your job, what the public voted for you to do. If you're not showing up for work, then that might be a problem. But show up for work. But as far as what I can see, Joe Bonaventure Jr. does a great job on the bench. He also stood up, and I give him props for this. He stood up against the district attorney's office and the Las Vegas Metropolitan Police Department because they wanted to remove former, rest in peace, Las Vegas Justice of the Peace, Melody Tobias's criminal calendar, because they felt that she was biased. It's so funny. At that particular time, why they approached Joe Bonaventure Jr. is because he was the chief judge of the Las Vegas Justice of the Peace. And Joe Bonaventure Jr. stood up to the DA's office and the Las Vegas Metropolitan Police Department. And I give him props for that, because I don't believe that the Las Vegas Police Department or any law enforcement entity, nor the district attorney or the public defender or any of those outside entities should be able to influence a judicial system. They shouldn't be able to do it. They should be separate. They should even give their opinion. It's up to the judicial system to police themselves. It's not up to the district attorney's office or the Las Vegas Metropolitan Police Department to police the judicial system. So I give Joe Bonaventure Jr. much props for standing up for that and say, no, I'm not going to remove Melanie Tobiasen off of the criminal calendar based on your say-so. And I give him much, much props for that. So Joe Bonaventure Jr. is not up in 2026. There are two Las Vegas Justices of the Peace that are up for their re-election, and that's Eric Goodman and Diana Sullivan. Those two Justices of the Peace seats for Las Vegas are up in 2026. I don't know if anybody have their eyes on those seats, but those are the only two seats that are up. Now, the next judge I would like to talk about is Clark County District Court Judge Jessica Peterson. Now, Judge Peterson came out of private practice, came on the bench, very intelligent, former board member of Rape Crisis Center, was on the Veterans in Politics talk show recently, and one of the things that they talked about on the Veterans in Politics talk show was about her reversal, because I believe she had 0.5% reversal of her decisions, and I'm glad we have appellate system and a Supreme Court system that could oversee these things. But the thing is, the litigants have to know about the appeal process, and they have to have money to appeal. But Judge Peterson came on our program, explained herself as to the reason why she had that percentage of overturned by the appellate court, and she explained herself well. And I think she's doing a great job on the bench as is. So I give much props to Judge Jessica Peterson. And folks, Veterans in Politics is down here court observant. And next year, every single district court seat in the state of Nevada is up for grabs. Every single seat. And I want everybody to make sure that they educate themselves on these judges that are up. Educate yourself. Go on the Veterans in Politics website, veteransinpolitics.org. Go on our YouTube channel, Veterans in Politics. Go on our social media, Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, or X, Instagram, TikTok, all those programs, and you can see many, many, many of our cases or many of our information on these judges. So we want to educate everybody to make sure that they're fully aware of what these judges do or don't do. And these judges, they need to go out and meet the public. And even if they don't go to events or anything like that, they should at least show up on different podcasts or talk shows and put their platform down so people could have a better understanding on what they do, how they got there, where they're from, their background. So when individuals go to the voting booth, they'll know exactly who to vote for based on whatever floats your boat, whether it's their education or the fact that they're community involved or whatever it is, or how they use their discretion when they're applying the law. So I just want to bring this out there that court observe as well. And if you don't know anything about the judges and you don't want to believe anything that we're saying about judges, I want you to go to the Regional Justice Center over here at 200 Lewis, Court Observe. Go to the Phoenix building. There's a couple judges in there. Court Observe. Go down to the Family Court building over there on Pecos and Bonanza. Court Observe. Go to the Las Vegas Municipal Courthouse over there on across from the City Hall. Court Observe. Go to North Las Vegas Justice of the Peace on Martin Luther King, or Las Vegas Municipal Court Judge on North Las Vegas Boulevard. Court Observe. Go to on Water Street in Henderson, and you see Henderson Justice of the Peace or Henderson Municipal Court Judges, and Court Observe. What I'm saying to you folks, go do your own research, do your own diligence, and court observe, because these benches are critical. Judges impact your life immediately on an extremely, very, very personal level. Out of all these elected officials, I think the ones you need to know more are these judges. Although they're on the bottom of the ballot, they are some of the most important. In fact, I think every single seat is the most important seats. You could check your box or hit your Chad if you're in Florida and make sure that we have good judges on the bench. Good judges on the bench. And like I said in previous, Veterans in Politics tried to pass a bill a few legislative sessions ago. Dr. Robin Titus tried to push it to get judges that run unopposed so the people could decide to retain these judges or vote them off, and the Judicial Selection Committee picks a new set of judges or picks applicants, send 3 names to the governor, and the governor picks a judge to fill the vacancy if a judge was removed by the citizenry. But, because of the Judicial Selection Committee went against the Constitution, I don't even put 100% of my thought process and of my how I feel about them in one basket anymore with the Judicial Selection Committee. I want folks to go ahead, and attorneys out there and whoever you are, run against a judge. If a judge is unopposed, run against the judge. If that judge is good, if that judge is maintain their level of competency and their judicial knowledge, if that judge is worthy of being on the bench, then that judge would get reelected. If that judge is not worthy of being on the bench, then that judge will be removed. Don't go in crowded races, folks. Do not go in crowded races. Go in races when there's only 1 or 2. Those are the races you should go into. Because check this out. If there are 3 candidates in one judicial campaign, then there's automatically a primary. 3 or more candidates are automatically a primary. If there's only 2 candidates, you go right to the general. And then you can raise money in the primary and go right to the general and face off on that judge. I'm not saying that judges are bad. I'm not saying all judges are bad. I'm just saying this. Run against every single judge so we can have a fair judiciary, so judges won't take wearing the robe. They'll take that more seriously, and they'll be a little bit more humble when they sit behind that bench. We need good judges behind the bench, and Nevada, Clark County, we need choices. And you cannot give people a choice if there's only one person and they automatically win. That's not giving us a choice. So, do that. This is Steve Sanson, President of Veterans in Politics, President of Nevada Veterans Association, President of Veterans in Politics Foundation, host of the Veterans in Politics Talk Show, President of VIPI Consultant LLC. And another thing, make sure that these judges come on the Veterans in Politics Talk Show, because we would love to vet them. We'd love to ask them tough questions. We're not going to ask judges rehearsed questions like some podcasters do. They give judges questions and the judges already know the answer and already know what's going to be asked of them before they sit down in front of that microphone. That is not a fair interview. That's called acting. Hollywood Gill. And we don't do surveys for judges, because anybody could fill out any type of questionnaire. They could give it to their spouse, their campaign manager to fill it out. You don't know if that judge is filling out that questionnaire. So, what I'm saying is, make sure that you ask judges questions. You see them, and at events, ask them questions. Or, if you know they're coming on our program, send us some questions and we'll ask the judges. Okay? Again, Steve Sanson, President of Veterans in Politics. Until next time.